Subtakers, Spacebanner here with yet another episode of World of Tanks. And today, let's take a breather from the maps. We're gonna have something a little bit different. And I have a super cracking game for you guys later on, so stay tuned. But before we start and get into the game, I want to cover one very important topic. And the topic is RNG. It's nothing new. RNG's been in this game forever. And it has been a pain for a lot of players trying to get adjusted to it. Now, I've tried to understand the RNG for many years now, and what it does, how it's inflicted into the game, in what areas. And at some point in time, a while back, I made a video called The Most RNG'd Game in History. And I will leave a thumbnail on the top of the screen, so if you guys are interested, if you want to see it, I strongly recommend it because it just kind of summarizes what this game can do every once in a while. Plus, there's so many comments underneath the video of players' experiences and what they have seen over the years with this game. But having said that, I wanted to focus on one comment in particular by Chloroform's Good, which is basically what I was looking for as far as answers go from the community at that point in time. But today I have an example, sort of an example of the game that I had, similar to what my video was talking about. And whatever Chloroform has posted here, I think it should be shared with the community, and you guys have to understand how RNG affects this game, to what degree, because it is crazy how far it goes within the game. So let's just read through this first and kind of digest on this a little bit, right? So first of all, thanks Chloroform for posting this. That was a while back. My apologies for not responding to your post, but let's take a look at what he has put down here. I've been saying this for ages. I spent thousands of games testing this shit, meaning the RNG factor and how it affects different areas of the game. What I've worked out is that we have several algorithms set for certain periods of time. Now notice that. So if you play at high peak time, these RNG factors might be higher during those times than any other time of the day. So for instance, Saturday evening, Friday evening, the weekend, for instance, Saturday or Sunday during the day. I don't know what else is peak time, but basically weekends and evenings, definitely evenings. And then he goes on to explain there are 4 types of RNG factors. You have personal, you're in a positive algorithm and matchmaking. Positive meaning that you have good RNG and good matchmaking. Negative meaning you have bad RNG and bad matchmaking. Team, every game you get positive or negative RNG. Okay, so that's team based. Shot damage, positive and negative RNG. Time of the day, positive, negative RNG. Changes depending on the time of the day you're playing. And then he goes on to explain, if you have positive personal, positive team RNG, you will be able to hit and pen anything while moving majority of the time. Any hits you take are usually minor. That will include probably shots that when you shoot at a light tank and you think you should hit him and pen him, you hit the tracks. That's the best example because how many times you shot a light tank with a big gun, like 183 for instance, and he gets tracked, no damage. If you have personal negative, team negative RNG, you will miss, track, bounce your shots. Kill shots usually miss or bounce. Any hits you take cause fires, crew casualties, ammo racks, etc., etc. Spotted a lot easier. Remember that, you spot it a lot easier, and I have example of that in my gameplay right after this, so you'll see that. Okay, now if you want more information on how he's collected this data, you can check out his post under my video, link above, or you can just contact him and ask questions, but he explains in his comments what kind of tests he was running at the time. Regardless, RNG is a thing, and it affects all of us. Good players, bad players, so on and so forth. You have to be mindful of that. So if you have a game where you shoot and you miss 50-60% of your shots, you know why. You're in a negative RNG span. And if that is the case, you should probably log out of the game and come back another time. Okay, going back to our game. So we're in a Terran, Tier 10 Soviet TD. And I'm not going to start it from the beginning, but I can tell you, we were in a negative RNG state. You can see here, I'm sitting at 430 meters or 431 meters from the tanks that are in position A6. And there's an arty there, as well as the Italian TD. the Minotauro. And I'm telling Freddy here, I'm afraid to fire because I have no cover. I'm afraid to fire the shell because I think I might get spotted. So camo on this tank, the way I have it currently set up is at about 237 meters. And I was firing at a distance of 415 meters. And I got spotted by the Minotauro. So I'm pretty sure his crew was decked out. He definitely had all the view range perks and all that stuff. But from this distance, I don't think I should have been detected. Although I did suspect that I might because the way things were going. And Freddy actually said, look, dude, you shouldn't have been detected at all from that distance. Yet I was detected. So, I don't know, I would have to do exact calculations to prove my point. But the fact of the matter is that at that distance, 431 meters, it is very unlikely that I should have gotten detected. Yet I did. There were also some bushes in a way there. Not exactly where I was sitting, but close by. By the way, Space, why are you sitting at only 692 damage in a Tyrann? Good question. I was sitting in the field and acting as a spotter, with 2 other TDs supporting from further back. I spotted a bunch of tanks. Well, you can see I spotted 3 at the time before I ran off. And RTDs didn't shoot anything. They weren't spotting, they were shooting. I was the one spotting. So I ran away from this position. I went back to K-line and tried to shoot from there. I fired 4 shots into the incoming tanks, which were good shots with AP rounds. They should have penned. Only 1 actually penned. So I came back here, and by that time, the whole team was dead. So there it is. My 692 damage. So here I'm scrambling, trying to get another shot of damage or something. I don't want to go on top of that ridgeline because I know that there's the Italian TD over there. So that's what I don't want to do, but I do want to spot these guys in the field, potentially. That's why you see me using the bushes. I'm using Tyrann a lot, like a light tank sometimes, to spot for the friendly team, because it has super camo. So as long as I don't fire my gun, I should be able to spot like a light tank. So you can see me being extra cautious here. Now this is closing stages, but still, we don't want to throw the game. Alright, so we're going to move into the top now because Freddy's here. So we're going to try to push this Minotauro. The Polish Heavy is also here. So we should have enough guns to get rid of him. And then once we get rid of him, we can move forward and get rid of artillery and a medium tank that's still remaining in the game, which I think is T-62A. Anyway, the guys put a couple of shells to the bat shot. I can't because he's behind the building. T-62A is spotted. Now I see Minotauro coming, but I don't want him to focus me, so I'm gonna go behind the wreck of the artillery right here. And our 60 TP drops off. Minotauro wants to push because he wants his damage, and I get that, but we're gonna take him out of the game right here. I was aiming my shot pretty well, but in some cases you aim your shots and they don't go where you want them to go, and that's what the end of this game is going to show. And it's gonna show the difference between auto aim and the shot you actually aim. So you're gonna see here, shit barn is spotted here. We're gonna auto aim that shell and shoot, and that hits. Now imagine my reticle bloom, how big it was. The gun wasn't fully aimed at all. I was on the move. I just stopped for a split second and I was able to hit that shot without aiming. Now look what happens here. Freddy shoots this T-62A. Shot aimed perfectly and it goes to the track. I shoot into this T-62A. Of course shot wasn't aimed fully, but my commander has all the accuracy perks plus run and gun plus pretty much everything. Freddy misses his second shot as well. It goes into the track. My second shot also misses. Go figure. So we can't kill this T-62A. 2 super unis cannot kill one T-62A. 4 shots. 4 shots. From whatever distance it was. What is it? 70 meters? We couldn't kill him. Finally he gets taken out. But we could not kill the bastard. And that's what this game does to you sometimes. It just drives you nuts. Okay. Let's switch back to the actual game now that me and Freddy had, which was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And this time we're in a positive RNG algorithm, because if we were in a negative, we wouldn't hit a lot of the shots that I was hitting in this game. Not to mention possibly getting set on fire by big guns at the end of the game. Some of the RNG can be visible in this game too, because I was compensating when leading my shots slightly in order to make sure they hit. And luckily they did hit, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to probably win this game. Okay, so we're on map Karelia. And this map is actually quite nice for TDs, because you can, especially if you have TDs with good camo, you can support area H3 to K0. You can basically get yourself in a position F0 and you shouldn't be detected. So that was the plan for both me and Freddy. We were just gonna sit side by side. Freddy's gonna take better position, but I digress. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get to that position, but then things are gonna change drastically. Now, guys, this game is gonna be absolutely insane. And this is what's happening in World of Tanks today. Like, so many bad players. Players just die left and right. So if you ask me why I'm playing Terran and why is Freddy playing Terran or Object 268-5, these are high alpha TDs, because at least in these tanks we are able to clutch it or carry in a situation where the team is bad. And that's exactly what you're going to see today in this game. It will be insane. We're going to go down by 6 tanks. I'm not going to spoil it anymore for you guys, but you'll see eventually. So this is the position I'm talking about. Freddy is closer to that rock, so he has probably a better angle to shoot at these guys. He was also in the position faster because I took a longer route. But it doesn't really matter. We can sit here side by side. Obviously, we cannot sit in front of one another, because if one of us gets spotted, you don't want shots incoming and hitting either me or him. So we need to be staggered slightly, and keep that in mind. Whenever you play TDs, whenever you set your TDs in the same position or close by to your friendlies, make sure that you're not overlapping. Make sure you're sitting side by side, at least few meters away, so that you're not exposing your friendly into the enemy fire in case you get spotted, or the other way around. Anyway, so here I noticed that there is a heavy tank really close to our base, area E7. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell that guy is doing there. And I tell Freddy, I don't know if that guy is just sitting there and no one can actually shoot him or what. So I'm just going to climb up here and see if I can get any shells into him. That was the idea, because that guy is a problem. He's spotting our entire team. And me being a Terran, I should be able to hit him without being spotted. Well, at least get close to him without being spotted. And once I hit him, I will drop back behind cover so that nobody else hits me. But he seems to be playing that position really well. I did not know that that position actually exists over there, because if he has armor and he is in a T110E5, he would be able to spot our friendlies or our TDs sitting close to the base, but we can't hit him from here because of that rock. I think he's sitting behind a rock or something. Now, friendly tank at C6 can actually hit him, but he gets taken out by the E5, because that position was countering the E5's position. So unfortunately, we lose M103. But then I was thinking to myself, okay, that guy is pretty much stuck there. I don't have shots at him. He is going to have to wait until his team wins the north side in order to progress. So there's no point just me sitting here. And I was telling Freddy, I'm going to come back and help you here. But because I'm kind of floating from one position to the next, I'm not doing damage, right? I'm not actually dealing damage. I'm covering the back field, and I'm trying to cover the weaknesses within our team instead of doing damage. Freddy is actually sitting in a good position dealing damage at this time. So if you're going to look at the stats at the end of the game, that is the difference between myself and Freddy's stats. But Freddy had a heck of a game over here, no question about it. Alright, so I was thinking to myself over here, okay, I'm going to drop a little bit into area D0, because I noticed that E5 slightly relocated. So we don't have a shot at him, but we do have a cupola shot. And we managed to put a huge, over 1,000 alpha into his cupola right there. And that's how dirty Terran is. Hitting someone for over 1k damage, it's ridiculous. This shot here, RNG said slightly no. The shot went to the right, even though E5 moved slightly. He didn't move laterally, side to side. He kind of moved backwards, yet my shell went into the right and it didn't hit the exact spot. And in order for me to penetrate him, I would have to hit him flush in the bottom portion of that cupola. And that didn't work out. So I'm going to wait a little bit over here to see if he comes out again. But I don't see him coming out. At this point, take a look at the map. We lost control of the map completely. So we lost the south side entirely, and we lost the north side entirely. This is when Freddy is saying, yo, I think we're going to have to go and defend the base. I'm like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, but I'm still waiting here to see if any of these guys creep up from 9 and 0 lines so I can get some shots of damage before I actually get myself to the top of the hill. But now I see Freddy coming, so I'm gonna get moving. And that's what we're gonna do. So I want to get to the top of the hill, but I don't want to be the first guy there. Unlike Freddy in Object 268.5, he has some turret armor. I don't have any armor at all. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go backwards so that I can run away as quickly as I can in case I get spotted in this situation. So I slightly block Freddy here, unfortunately, but it's okay. He's got this. And all of a sudden, 2 tanks are spotted. Object 257 as well as Object 268-5. Turret shot. We had to hit the turret since we loaded heat shells. This was just in case we need that extra penetration. I went for heat shells because we were losing the game already. And I needed to make sure we're penetrating these shots. We're going to take out the object right there. Freddy's taking care of the guys on the top. At the same time, I get hit by something in the middle. I didn't know what it was yet, but about 400 alpha. So probably something hitting me from the outlook area. G7. At the same time, SU-130 PM gets spotted. We're going to put a shell into him. And now we're going to go behind that rock in front of us to make sure we're not going to get hit from that hill in the outlook. We're going to try to lose our 6th sense over here and complete our reload. At the same time, Freddy's taking care of the guys on top. He just took out the Object 257. And now we reloaded, so I'm going to climb up to help Freddy. Score is bad. 4v8. We have 4 TDs left versus their 8 tanks. So I'm still looking for shots into that 53 TP. Our waffle gets taken out right now. And soon after, the other TD will get taken out. I'm telling Freddy here, I see this T-34 black coming up. I don't really want to overexpose to hit him. So Freddy's going to climb up that little incline over there. And he should be able to take him out of the game. At the same time, we're losing the game by 6. Take a look at this, guys. It's 2v8. Freddy takes out the T-34. It's 2v7 now. This is when we need to make a decision. We need to make a push on this T-30. We have to secure this flank. So we can only worry about one flank. So I'm asking Freddy, you want to push him or do you want me to push him? One of us has to take a hit in order to take him out of the game. So I tell Freddy, look, I'm going to go and push him. No problem. I'm going to take him out of the game and take a hit. But at the same time, I'm going to play it cautious. I'm going to try to side scrape. And hopefully we can hit his lower plate without him even hitting us. And that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what we wanted. Perfect scenario because we don't lose any HP. Freddy takes out SU-130 PM. E5 is poken out over the ridgeline. We are almost reloaded. Can we take him out of the game? Yes, we can. So we secure another kill. All of a sudden, it's 2 versus 4. So we go on the reload now. Once we reload, we're going to come up again and see who else is coming. Possibly from this side of the map. There's still Jagdpanzer 100 remaining on the opposing team. As well as the Nemesis, which is literally an E100. And he's got quite a bit of HP left as well. Jagdpanzer 100 is one-shotable to me if I high roll, but I do not want to overexpose. And what I was telling Freddy here is I'm worried about overexposing because if I do and I get set on fire, especially in the negative RNG state, this is going to throw the game. But Freddy's like, dude, you have to take out this Nemesis. If you don't take him out, I'm dead. You really have to take him out. So I'm going to try to reposition here. And we hit him, taking him out of the game. Jagdpanzer 100 comes from behind, hits us. Fortunately, does not set us on fire. So we're going to back up now. We know we're going to out-reload him. So we're going to put a shell into his lower plate, hoping we can high roll. We do not high roll, so we're going to have to run away quickly. Hide behind the dead wreck of the T-30. That's what we do. But Freddy shows up and he takes him out of the game. And just like that, we clean up the field, pretty much clean up the field. Only one tank remaining, tier 8, T42. That was quite a sequence, guys. That was quite a sequence. And that's why you need HP at the end of the game. Especially in a soft tank like a Tyran, where you can actually use your HP effectively and be able to deal damage. So that's exactly what happened here in this situation. Now, talking about RNG. Take a look what happens here. We're going to be driving through the middle of the map. We're looking for that T-42. I was telling Freddy, I don't care. I can take one hit. I'm just gonna drive through the middle of the map and see if we can spot him. At the same time, I'm saying I'm worried about the base a little bit, because if we leave it, we're gonna have to come back. But we're in a fast tanks, we should be able to. And take a look at this. I will not spot this guy, even though I have better view range and better camo than Freddy. Freddy is the one that spotted him, not me. I already drove past this guy and I wasn't able to spot him. Freddy spots him, puts a shell into him, we finish him off, and we complete this game with a victory. My goodness, how unlikely was that? Let's take a look at the end plates and see how we did now. Take a look at this. This is absolutely insane. Between the two of us, we managed to put up 11 kills. 11 kills, guys. Freddy had almost 8,000 damage. I had 5.6k damage. Now 5.6k damage for Terran is literally nothing. I mean, I've had games 7, 8k. That's not a problem. And maybe I'll show you some of these games at one point, but there's no point. There's so many 8k to 10k games on YouTube in this tank that I don't think there's a point for me to showing you my games. Maybe I'll show them in some different context, maybe showing you map positions or stuff like that. That's probably the best way to do it. But man, what a game this was. What a game this was. And Freddy had additional 2 ace tankers after this battle. He had 7k game and another 8k game, I think. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So anyway, we were just talking here. Oh, we also got brothers in arms. Yes, we got brothers in arms in this game. Only class 2 for Terran. But again, Freddy got an ace. Too bad I don't have his perspective, because he wasn't recording to show you what he was seeing. But regardless, what a spectacular game by him. And take a look at our team. Take a look at the damage on our team. It's absolutely insane. That's why sometimes it pays off to platoon. At least you have someone to watch your back. And at the end of the day, you still can carry and pull off games like this. Insane. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy tanking, Spaceband, checking out.